Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's a special Wealth Wednesday. I'm here with my partner, Stacey Tisdale.
Happy Wealth Wednesday, everybody. And today we are going to get you connected because we have the master connector herself, Nichole Harmon-Pointdujour.
Yes,
Okay.
fancy, right?
Pointdujour,
yes.
And she is the founder and CEO of the Master Connector Agency. She's the Wall Street executive, and we are so excited. We're going to learn all about connecting.
Yes, and I want to start off with how you even conceived of this, because when I first met Nichole, she was always connecting people. Like we said, she's a Wall Street executive, so she has a lot of corporate people that she works with, but she also has a lot of talent that she works with, a lot of creators. And so for a lot of times, you've been bringing people together. And I'm like, this is a whole agency.
Yeah. So, and she's right. Like Angie and I met, and I, connected you with her, connected everybody. That was my life. I always connected people. The master connector. So I've been on Wall Street for 20 years, and through my whole career, I was always connecting people. If you say, hey, I want to be on the radio, I'm like, oh, I know Angie. Angie, can you put my friend on here? Or if you say you're in the food business, I know a couple of restaurant owners. So I would always connect people all the time, but I never knew what I should do with that.
Right.
And my whole life, people always said, you need to start a business because you know so many powerful people, not just like you said in the industry, on Wall Street and corporate. But I said, well, what does that mean? How do I start a business and I don't have a product? Because most people have products, right? Like they're selling shirts or they have makeup lines. I was like, what does that mean to start a business without having a tangible product? And God gave me a vision. He said, you're going to curate a room and you're going to bring together your network. Your network is filled of corporate executives, industry leaders, influencers, CEOs. So 30 days after he gave me the vision, I was like, okay, I'm going to curate a room. It's called In the Room Where the Deals Are Made. So I create a space where I bring together corporate executives, industry leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, everybody that's doing their thing in their field. And I feel like we each need each other, because when I would go to corporate events, I wouldn't see my industry friends there. And when I would go to industry events, I wouldn't see my corporate Wall Street friends there. So I wanted to bring us all together because I felt like business could be done in these rooms, and we need each other to get deals done.
And it all complements each other. A lot of the different things that we do, it's like, okay, well, Angela's looking for, this investor for one of her businesses. Let me see if I could connect it with this person. Or this person's trying to get a guest speaker to do X, Y, and Z. Well, let me see if I can help them find the right person, because you also know everybody's bios.
Yeah, and also what I noticed is, like, corporate executives, we need industry leaders. We need people that are out in the community to help push our products, to get the information out there, to say how wonderful we are, because every brand wants to be the brand of choice.
Talk more about that, because when you hear about these rooms, you think, oh, that's just for big shots. But corporate America needs community people as much as community people need that funding.
Yeah, exactly. You're spot on. The corporate executives, we need industry leaders, influencers, people that are in the community to talk about how good our products are. Every corporation wants to be the corporation of choice. So if you have somebody out there and you're doing a business and they're coming to your events, they're like, oh, I went to Way Up. I had a beautiful experience. They greeted me with water. They took care of me, right? So we all want people to.
We don't give water. We don't give water. Don't be putting that out there.
But I'm just saying, like, when you have a good company and people are out talking about your business, it helps the business succeed. It's all about word of mouth, as well as influencers and industry people need corporations, because we can help with funding, we can help with sponsorship, we can help with broadening your connections, we can help with business acumen. So both entities need each other.
You know what's interesting too is monetizing something like this, because I feel like sometimes we don't realize the connections that we have that we bring to the table is something that can be monetized. Sometimes we do things just as a favor.
Yes.
Like, let me introduce you to this person and hook it up, and then now they go on and do a deal, but maybe you're not benefiting from that at all, but you made the initial introduction that made it happen.
Yep. That is
Can you
so
talk
true.
about that?
Yeah, and Yandy, who you just had up here, she was one of the first people to show me my worth in connecting people. So somebody reached out to me that had a conference, and they said, Nichole, can you help me with some powerful women to speak at my conference? At first, I was like, I know a lot of powerful women, but I had to figure out the right people to be a part of this conference. It was a huge conference, and I reached out to 3 people. And I asked them all their fee, and I got everybody their fee. Okay, what's your speaking fee? What's this? What's this charges? Doing all these deal transactions and helping just my friends. I didn't even think about me getting paid. So Yandy said, well, what's your fee? And I said, what do you mean? She said, how much are you charging what's your fee for getting me booked to do this? And I said, oh, I don't charge fees. Like, I'm connected. You're my friend. Like, I'm putting you in this room. I'm giving you this opportunity. I've always led with how I can help people, how I can get them opportunities. I never thought about little old me.
Yeah.
And so she said, what's your fee? And I said, what does that mean? And I said, what do people charge? She said, you can do anywhere between 10 to 20%. I would say 10 because you're new at this. I said, okay, so you're going to give me 10%. I'll take it, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
so, right. And so she gave me 10%. And every deal that I got her from on, she always gives me 10% 10% of her deal. And it's just from getting her in the rooms. And then I said, oh, so people get paid for this? So she opened my mind up to that, getting paid for my connections.
Right. It's like a booking fee.
It's a booking fee. And if a deal is made, then I get 10% of that too, because I'm giving you opportunities. And that's the importance of being in the right room, because you can meet somebody that can grow your network, your net worth, your business, just by being in the right room and being introduced.
So if I'm listening to this, I was like, this sounds like it's for, people at a certain level. One, it's not. And two, they can actually work with you, and you have a service that people can actually subscribe to.
Yes. So one, I created the In the Room. So it's an event that I host in person, but people wanted more. They're like, well, how do I get in contact with you? You've been on Wall Street 20 years. You have so much business acumen. You know so many people. So I created a membership. So the membership is $99 a month. And people are telling me the price is too cheap, but that's where I wanted to start. And
wait. Where is it? Where do people go to get it?
So www.themasterconnectoragency.com.
Okay, back to $99 a month.
Back to $99 a month, yes. So on my website, you can book a ticket to the in-person events, and then you can also book the membership. With the membership, you meet with me monthly on Zoom, and I have experts in their field come on to talk to you about every area of business. I have someone talking about trademark. I have someone talking about personal branding. Elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is so important when you meet people, getting to the point of what they need to know. I talk to people about the keys of networking, the art of networking. I have a huge network. People always ask me how I know so many people.
Everybody knows Nichole. Everywhere I go, they're like, oh, yeah, you know my homegirl Nichole. I'm like, yes, I know her. They do, though, all the time.
Yeah, thank you. So, and I think that comes from, like, doing good business, right? Like, you don't want people to say your name. You're like, oh, yeah, I know Nichole. Like, no, I've always led with integrity, do good business, and lead with how I can help people. But the membership, every month I have experts coming on talking about their field and how they can help you increase your business. I always say your network, and your business.
Wow. A lot of people, when they hear things like this, you're going to introduce them to partners, potential mentors, and they go into these rooms and they think about, okay, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? But you're like, flip that script a little bit and think about what you're going to bring.
Yes. That's one of the top keys to networking. I tell people all the time, lead with how you can help. These rooms are powerful rooms. I had CEOs in this room. I had venture capitalists, people that had multi-million dollars willing to invest. I had executive C-suite and above decision makers, meaning that if you want a job, you can go straight to them. I call it the cheat code, meaning that you're talking to the person that you don't have to go through the PR, the admin, the behind the scenes people.
Cutting through the red tape.
But I tell people, lead with how you can offer help to someone, because a lot of times, I want to say 90% of the time, if I meet Angela, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be on your radio show, versus what are you working on? What are your goals for 2025? How can I add value? What is your plan? I always lead with value with people. Anybody I met, and everybody can say that when they've met me, it's like, yeah, like, how can I help you? Like, right? It's like, what are you working on? Oh, you want to speak on JP? Okay. Oh, no. You want to speak on a platform? I'm going to see who I know on that platform. So I always lead with value, and I think that comes back tenfold, because I always lead with how you can help versus what can I get from you.
And it's so important for our community to get into these rooms. We don't have access to these rooms.
Yes.
And we do make such a big splash when we are in these rooms. I think people are really excited. Nicole's had me out at some of her networking events also. And it's always been like I walk away with a whole bunch of different new connections. I even meet people who are like, oh, I reached out to you on LinkedIn. I didn't hear back. But here you are in person.
Yeah.
And so it's like a real life LinkedIn.
What's the vibe like in the rooms?
I mean, it's amazing. It's just incredible, because it's all people who, I think when you go into rooms like this, it's also important because these are all people who are very ambitious, because it's one thing to want to do something. It's another thing to get out and do it. And so all these people are there for the purpose of trying to grow whatever it is that they want to do. But also there's people in the room that want to help you grow whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's equally important. And it's interesting because I know Yandy and you, like you said, have worked together closely. And I was with her earlier, and she was talking about just the feeling that people are having right now who are business owners, who are entrepreneurs, who are creators, how right now they're feeling like, ooh, what's the government about to do for us? We have to figure out how to make things happen more on our own, because they're not going to be looking out for us. What do you feel like is the sentiment around that right now?
Yeah, I always say, work with people that celebrate you. Focus on people that focus on you. Don't look for your tribe. Look for people that light up when they see you. Look for people that want to help you. And I tell everybody that go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And I think right now, even more so, like, I'm building this community of powerful people that have seats at the table to help us all grow our network, our net worth, and our business. And I stand on that, because everybody that's in these rooms, I want to say 90% of these rooms, have a seat at the table, which is important. And a lot of us don't have access to that. I always tell people, the first event I did, I had the mayor come up. thanking me for launching my business in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
I had the old mayor of Atlanta in the room as well. I had CEOs in the room. I had executives from Fortune 500 companies. I had influencers. I had famous people. I had real estate. Like, the room had a caveat of people that you just don't normally walk into.
And entrepreneurs.
And entrepreneurs, yes. Successful business owners and new business owners. And you just don't walk into a room that has that caliber of people of different backgrounds. Usually, if you go to a certain function, it's always, sports, entertainment, or music, or finance, or law. Like, this room had everybody in there.
And playing off what Angela was saying about how people are feeling like we really got to come together now. You had an event right after the election, November 7th, that kind of brought that home for you.
Literally the day.
Literally.
Yeah. And so what's interesting, because I had the event November 7th, the election was November 5th, and so many people were like, they don't know if they're going to come because their mood was just not where they wanted it to be.
I need a moment.
I need a moment, right. I had the chairwoman of Black Lives Matter come to my event, and she's in that space, right? Like, you're fighting for us on the front lines every day. And she said, Nichole, I wasn't going to come to this event, but when I tell you I thank you for coming to this event, because the room was so warm and welcoming. Everybody was there to help. Everybody knew they were there to network, so their guard was down. And she said it was just so powerful and impactful being around all this Black excellence all at once. I needed this. She needed that room to uplift her spirits, and she made some dynamic connections for what she's doing. So I think having the event, I know November 7th was a gamble, right? I'm like, I'm going to be celebrating. Then I was like, okay, well, I'm still happy. But the energy in the room, the power of the room, all the Black excellence in the room, everybody loved it.
Yeah, because I feel like we can be discouraged right now. I know it was a big story about Walmart and how they're getting rid of their whole
and
entire...
many companies.
Yeah, so many companies are. And obviously Walmart's a huge one, right? And a lot of people who have initiatives or they had funding set aside, and now everybody's like, ain't got to do that no more.
Right.
And they're also even trying to make it illegal for you to even... give grant money to, people of color, to Black-owned businesses, to women.
And penalize colleges and universities.
Right. And so
it's a different world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on, and I know it can feel like a discouraging time, but I think it's even more important that we have things like this and things like the Master Connector who can actually still help navigate through a system that even if you're trying to make us not able to do things or put obstacles in our way, we're still able to get it done with community.
Yes, exactly. Getting it done with the community. It's called the Connectors Community, and like Andrew said, I know a ton of people. So if you're working on something or you feel discouraged, you reach out to me, especially if you're part of my membership, because we also have Slack channel where you can communicate. Or I put in exclusive events that are happening, or I say, how's everybody's day going? Or if I found out opportunities. And so it's good to have someone that, I have a seat at the table, but also have the network to help you in your business or whatever you have going on. So
you got me. I know everybody out there right now is listening, and they're going to go to the masterconnectoragency.com.
Yes.
It's the masterconnectoragency.com. Subscribe, $99 a month, and just take me through. So I subscribed. I don't know what I'm doing. What do I get for my $99 a month?
Sure, exactly. So our first class is on December 9th. So you want to subscribe before December 9th. Right now, we're giving out free credit repair to the first 5 members that sign up. So if you sign up in your first 5, you get the free credit repair, which is a $1,000 service. So we're giving that away for free as part of the membership and being on the way up. And then with the service, so the first meeting, we're going to do goal setting for 2026. So I'm going to meet with all of my members and write down what your goals are. And that helps me understand who you are as my key member in my community, what you're working on, and then I start to go through my Rolodex and my network to figure out how to get you from point A to point B. Each month, I have people coming on to talk about different areas of business and how to be successful in your business, whether, like I said, that's marketing. I have a good girlfriend that does marketing. And she said when people start their businesses, they don't think about a marketing budget. But if you don't have a marketing budget, how do people know what your business is?
Exactly.
Right. And so like little things like that, it's so many gems being dropped and so many aha moments that you would get from being in this community. It's access to information that we just don't know that we don't know. I have businesses.
You're marketing for people too.
I'm marketing for people, yeah. And then you're a part of a community. So we're all in this together. And it's like, I have this going on. We promote each other's businesses, which I think is important. But it's just having those experts come on every month to talk about different areas of business. Trademark. I know you had somebody up here talking about trademarking, talking about personal branding. There's also a lady coming on talking about the 5 areas of business. Shout out to my girlfriend Candace. She's talking about the 5 area of business that you need to succeed. So every month you'll be on, and then you also get free access to the in-person events. So the in-person events are ticketed, but if you're a member, you get free general admission access to the in-person events.
You have a big one coming up in March.
I have
Tell
a
us
huge
about that.
one. E.T. So Eric Thomas, he is the highest paid #1 motivational speaker in the world. This man changes lives. Anytime I mention his name, someone's like, he saved my life. He changed my life. He is like the amazing prophet. He charges a lot of money to show up anywhere he goes, and they pay it because he's valuable. The gems that he drops. He's going to be our guest on March 14th in Atlanta. The tickets are on the website. Right now, there's a 25% off code if you use Wealth Wednesdays. I'll put that up for 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at us saving people money.
Saving people money. Wealth Wednesday, saving people money. But Eric Thomas is a big deal. So you want to be in this room to hear. I'll be interviewing him to figure out how he became the most highest paid person to speak, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to get paid their value. So how do you get that? So he'll be dropping gems on that. He'll be dropping gems on just changing your life. So that's
exciting.
That's really
Who else
cool.
is going to be coming up after that?
Oh, so we got another surprise guest. You might know her, Stacey. Her name is Angela Yee. You know her?
I'm like, who else is coming?
Yes. So we have the famous Angela Yee coming in November. That's going to be
Did you
another.
really just do that?
Well, I do need to promote because it's her show, right? So
I'm going to be there, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
No, but that's locked in.
Angela be there. And Angela is, so people, she's the sweetest person and she's on the radio, but she's like a mini mogul, right? And not to put her business out there, but every time I'm talking to her, she's working on so many investments that are getting her money. And I'm so proud of you.
Well, not all of them yet, but we're working on it.
But you're still, because I remember one time we were somewhere, you're like, okay, I can't go to Chanel this week because I got to buy a property. I'm like, that's dope, right? Because that's the part of wealth where you're putting your money into things that are going to make you more money versus things that are going to depreciate, right? So,
although them Chanel bags be worth something later.
They
Let's
do.
not do that.
They do. I got to say that again so my husband can hear it.
do that.
Yeah, look, say it again so my husband can hear it.
The holidays are coming. Give the gift that gives.
Right. Because I'm always like, Dad, this is an investment.
But it does make you realize when you're investing in things and you're looking long term, it does make you think like, okay, I can stop buying all these other things because you see the bigger picture for what it is. And it
Yeah.
feels exciting when you're able to like do those things and spend money on these investments and, you know, little fun things like
Yeah.
are
Reward
nice,
yourself, yeah.
But it also makes you realize when you have to sacrifice all of that, how unnecessary it can be, you know? And so that's something that I've learned, or I tell myself anyway.
No, you're learning it because you tell me, you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to get this. I'm like, that is so
Right,
dope.
listen, I ain't been on no vacations.
Financial security is freedom.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, Nichole, because, you know, a lot of people have wanted you to start this business. It's been something why did you decide finally, like, now is the time? How did you know?
Yeah, it was God. I give all glory to God. It was God. And literally, they say God talks to you in your dreams.
Yes.
This man was waking me up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you can't talk to me during the day. Like, every day, but I'm
tired.
like, I'm tired. And
Yeah.
he would say, like, you're going to create this room. My whole life, everybody's been telling me to start this business. But again, I didn't know what that looked like, what that meant, because I didn't have a tangible product. So I'm like, okay, how do I start a business? Because I know Angela Yee or Yandy or all these phenomenal people. And so he said, you're going to curate this room. You're going to charge to be in this room. This room's going to add value. The sole mission of this room, what I want to happen is they came to the Master Connector Agency and it changed your life. It impacted your life. I always say meeting the right person could change your life. Being in the right room could change your life. So this whole thing is to help my community build their network and help them grow their business, their network, and their net worth. And I give networking tips at the event so that people that are shy, like, you know, standoffish, I'm like, okay, well, lead with a
Some
compliment.
people always say that's really tough for them to go into a room full of people that they don't know, or you may feel a little uncomfortable. You may feel like, do I belong here?
Yes.
And so even being able to approach someone is not an easy
Who did
thing.
we have an Ashley Nichole who said that she's shy? You'd never guess it, but she's shy. So every time she goes to an event, she's like, you're going to talk to 3 people.
That's smart, yeah.
Picking a number.
People also even call me and say, with the confidence thing, they say, Nichole, you're around all these powerful people, or you're on Wall Street. I don't belong in that room. I'm like, you belong in any room that you go in. And when you get in there, you leave with a compliment. Everybody loves a compliment. That's the first icebreaker. I love your hair. I love your shoes. I love your bag. And then if they say, okay, thanks. And it's like, okay, are you from around this area? Then you figure out where they're from. You try to find a common piece to keep the conversation going, and then lead with that value you can add. Oh, what field are you in? Oh, I'm in let's say restaurant business. Oh, well, I love to cook this, or I know somebody that would love to try your food, or I know somebody that could be a food critic, right? Figure out how you can find those
I have a
pinpoints.
coffee company. I'd love to have my coffee in your restaurant.
Exactly, right, exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying.
in case everybody missed it, Angela has a coffee company and she's going to be at the conference. Is there anything else
the
you want to
Master
share?
Connector Agency in November, Angela will be there. But yeah, it's just finding those common pieces. But I want to create a room that I'm impacting and helping my community. That's the best thing that I can do. Now we do networking bingo, which is fun. My girlfriend Babs puts it on. So you walk around and try to fill your bingo card out and you win a prize. So that's another way to encourage people to network. Because I tell people when they come in these rooms, I have executives that are vice presidents and above in this room, but you don't know what they look like, right? So people will run to the Angela Yees or the Yandys or the ETs because they know what they look like. But I'm like, this person can offer you a job. And a success story from my last event, I had a CEO of a major company there, and they didn't know who they were, but they were a CEO, and they talked to them, and now they have an interview next week. So they have an interview next week to potentially have a job that's going to change their life, make an impact in their financial, stability. So
That's
And
what
I
it's
love
all
this
about.
one. As you're talking, it always matters what's going on in the external world, but it doesn't matter as much when you're in these communities and getting it done together. The world is going to change all the time around you, but I love how you're just bringing people together in a safe space.
In a safe space, yeah. And I know this ET event and Angela event is going to sell out. The space only fits 200 people, so get your tickets fast.
Not only can you see Angela, but you can get a 20%
Yes,
discount
you
to
get 20%.
see Angela by putting in Way Up.
There you go, 20% off.
Those tickets aren't on sale yet.
They're not on sale yet. ET's first, and then we'll
ET.
put, yeah.
Well, okay, we'll be starting a wait list.
We'll start a wait list. It will be. I'm telling you, everybody's like, you're wanting something special. This thing is going to blow up. I'm like, I'm here to help. So
ET, that's awesome. Master
yes, I love
Connector
this,
Agency.
The Master Connector. It kind of reminds me of, just like I said, monetizing these connections. I think Steve Stout was one of the people who really was great at doing things like that, because he would kind of match up different people with different corporations and help them understand the value of, because understanding the value of who certain people are also. Sometimes people try to not give you your value or what you're worth, and Nichole will fight for that for you and be like, this person gets this, but this person deserves to have X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't know if you know their numbers. Like, it's nice to have people speak for you even when you're not in the room that can really advocate for you, and that's
think how
important
much
too.
time we spend as entrepreneurs trying to meet that person or trying to get to that person. The phone calls, the emails.
Yeah, that's why people are like, your tickets are so cheap, $100 to meet a CEO. And I'm like, I'm keeping it that way now. They're going up. By the time Angela gets on there, right, they're going up. But it's the fact, like you said, it's cutting out that red tape. I call it the cheat code. You're in the room with the decision makers that offer you opportunities. And Angela's right. I do fight for my people.
Yeah.
Like, I say, like, well, this is her value.
I'm
like,
your new person.
Now, yes, Stacey's my new person. I'll be fighting for Stacey too. But pay people their work, pay people their value, because people work hard, right? And don't try to discount somebody or because they're my friend. No, this is what she charges. This is what her price is. This is what she deserves. So,
just like the Budgetnista said, she was talking about that and working with different corporations and saying, this is what my price is. Because a lot of times people do try to lowball you or do try to say, oh, everybody's line is, oh, well, we don't really have a budget right now. Well, we don't have X, Y, and Z right now. If you know somebody's price is their price,
And she's not, and she always really leans in, don't be afraid to say no.
Yep.
ET's
prices, when I tell you this is the highest paid speaker, his prices is like, was it 7 figures? It's high. And I'm like, woo, okay. But it's worth it. Like, he knows his worth. He's literally changing and impacting lives. So I think that's
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
The Master Connector, the masterconnectoragency.com. And when you go to that site, you can sign up for the subscription. You can sign up for the event. Use the discount code Way Up.
Yes.
And
everybody's Wednesdays.
Oh, so I take that way back.
Yeah.
The discount code is Wealth Wednesdays. And how do people find you on social media?
I'm themasterconnector.com. So THE master_connector, not .com. So the Master Connector. Yes.
She's had this in her mind for a while.
Yes. right. I've been connecting people.
Ladies and gentlemen. Well,
here.
Nichole, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we honor you. You know, anytime you call me, it may take me a moment, but when I get back, it's always a yes.
It is always a yes. I have to track my friend down. I'm like, Angela, can you answer? She's like, you call me when I'm on the radio.
Sorry. Yeah, she be calling me at like 10:02. I'm like, girl, I'm on the air.
But I be calling her with opportunities. I'll call her with opportunities. I'll call her with like, how can I help you? How can I? Yeah. So
it's always good.
It's a beautiful thing. Happy Wealth Wednesdays.
Happy Wealth Wednesdays. Thank you guys for having me. Blessed for the friendship, Angela and Stacey.
Your new person.
My new friend. And shout out to my girl Ebony. She's in the corner over there, but she flew in to support me, and she's a part of my team.
Ebony.
So thank you, Ebony. Yes, I have an amazing
She's making
team
us all
around me.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yes, she comes with she works my event.
The
She comes with
energy.
this. Yeah, you walk in and you see Ebony. You're like, I feel like I could do anything. Like she's the best energy person to have around you. And I always say, go with people that celebrate you, and she celebrates me and the company. So
Well,
All
thank
right,
you for
thank
celebrating our
you.
community and doing what you do.
thank you.
It's Way Up. It's a Wealth Wednesday.